Hello, writers. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I talk a lot on this channel, and I believe it very sincerely that you can train yourself to be creative. I firmly believe that creativity is a skill like anything else, and the more you practice it, the better you get at it. And if you feel like you're one of those people who doesn't have good ideas, or you feel like you don't get enough ideas, you don't generate enough ideas, then it is my firm belief that you get better at that by just writing down your ideas every day. So I challenged myself to put this into practice, and I wanted to do a debrief and let you know how it all went. For September, I decided that I would try a 2-week creativity challenge where every day I would write down 5 ideas. It ended up being 6 ideas because I use these index cards and I could fit 2 ideas on each card. And so it ended up being 6 ideas. Anyway, this is my video about that. It is almost 8 o'clock. Starting a little bit later than I would have liked. Did my yoga just now and tried to think of ideas. But I'm gonna be honest, it didn't really work this time. And I think part of it is maybe that I just didn't sleep that great last night. I woke up at 2 and couldn't fall back to sleep until about 4. But we'll just, you know, no judgment. Let's see how it goes. Okay, here we go. That's interesting, because when I started I didn't think I had anything and I was feeling a little discouraged, but as I started writing it actually did trigger some ideas, and the last 2 ideas I realized, well, and the ideas were more like questions for myself, like what does this mean to me, and then kind of a few sentences about what I thought it meant and how I might explore it in a story. So for example, I'm really interested in transformation stories about people who can transform into other shapes or other things, and so I had a sentence about, you know, what does that mean to me? How can I subvert this trope? What are the tropes? How do I subvert them? How do I do something new and exciting? I also think, for me at least, it's important to think about why I personally am interested in stuff like that. What does it mean to me? What does it stand in for? What's the powerful metaphor or the emotional impact of this idea? So I tried to get those down. And the last 2 ideas that I did actually, I think, link to works in progress that I already have, which I didn't expect. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, all right, till tomorrow. That was really interesting. I wrote 7 today. Again, I'm allowing myself to be generous with what an idea means. So each idea doesn't have to be a completely distinct and self-contained idea. This morning I came upon one idea that I got really intrigued by, and so I wrote 3 other ideas that were developing that central idea and asking myself questions about it. And I generated 4 thoughts based on that. So that was really interesting. Could it be that this is working and I'm actually getting better? Or is this a fluke? Well, I guess we'll find out, because I'm going to do this again tomorrow. that there were days when it's harder and there were days when it was easier. I also learned that for me, if I knew that I was going to write down these ideas, then I would be thinking about the ideas that I wanted to work on or develop while I was getting ready doing other things. So in a way, it helped me make use of those times when otherwise my mind might be, I don't know, fallow or worrying about things that I usually worry about. And instead, just shifting my mindset a little bit, especially in the morning, to thinking about creative ideas actually helped a lot. And it didn't take up that much of my time, honestly. Would I do it again? Absolutely I would. I think it's about finding a habit and a routine that works. For me, I experimented, as you saw in the video, I experimented with different times of day. And I discovered that for me personally, doing it early in the day is better. I think the days that I was the most successful at this, when I kind of look back at how I did, both in terms of the quality of the idea, and quality of the idea, I mean ideas that really interest me, not necessarily quality by any objective measure, because there's no such thing as an objective measure of quality, but ideas where I actually went, oh, that's a good one, I'd actually like to write that story. Those ideas came best for me, came easiest for me when I did them in the morning. And I think my routine that worked well was I would go for a dog walk in the morning, usually about 6:30, 7 in the morning. While I was on the walk, I would spend just a couple minutes thinking, what sorts of ideas do I think I might generate today? I'd either have an idea or not. There were a few days when I was lucky enough to have a very vivid dream that I wrote about. And I love dreams as a field to gather ideas from. And dreams somehow speak in a language of the subconscious that can access emotions and ideas that lie below the surface of your consciousness that are beyond logic and reason, if that makes sense. And so I feel very lucky when I have a dream that allows me to access that side of it, and I believe that a lot of my most powerful ideas come out of dreams. I am looking forward to trying this more regularly in my writing life, so I will continue to do this. I may not quite set myself up to do it every day. I don't know yet, but I do have some ideas here that I really like. I think the next thing I have to figure out is how I'm going to catalog these ideas. I love index cards, and I think index cards are great, but in terms of, do I want to digitize them? Do I want to keep them in a box somewhere? How do I catalog these, and what is a reasonable way of going through these ideas and picking out the ones that I actually want to work on instead of just kind of letting them sit around and collect dust, you know? Anyway, this was my creativity challenge. Write down 6 ideas every day for 2 weeks. And I would say that it was a success. And I'm glad to have experimental confirmation that my theory about creativity is correct, at least for me. So if you try this out too, please let me know how it went for you and what insights you discovered. All right, that's it. Happy writing, friends.